I call it name association. So essentially I'm going to give you a sentence, a descriptor, and you tell me the first name that pops into your head that you associate with that sentence, and you cannot say yourself. And the first thing I'm going to ask is funniest person in the locker room.
Brad Armstrong.
Everybody says Brian Armstrong. Why Brian Armstrong?
Brad, I said.
Oh, sorry, Brad Armstrong. Apologies. Everyone says Brad Armstrong.
So they're clones of one another. They're comedy. Very, very witty guys. The whole family's witty. Whole family. But Brad, as I mentioned before, if he could have taken the Brad Armstrong from the locker room and projected it on TV in interviews, he would have been a huge star. His work was so good. This is going to sound funny, James. His work was so smooth, I think it hurt him. It looked like he was dancing. Do you know what I mean? He looked like a professional ballet dancer. He was great.
Next one is last man standing at the bar.
Andre.
An easy one. The most beautiful woman wrestler / valet in real life.
Would be Trish Stratus. I think I just saw her recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's still got it going on, as they
yeah.
say. Yeah. Most bullied.
Most bullied. Maybe Disco.
Who was the bullier with Disco? Or was it just everyone?
Mostly the Steiners. And that's not a good person to get bullied from, especially Rick.
Do you know, you've just reminded me. I interviewed Curtis Hughes recently, and he said that like you were a fan of Curtis because I think like your son or someone was getting chased around by the Steiners, and Curtis stepped in and said, "Leave him alone," and they left him alone after that.
Yeah. Curtis was. They drove. My son drove the Steiners crazy, and they repaid him in kind.
I will move on then. Smelliest wrestler.
Maybe Vader.
Name I've heard many times before. The biggest stooge for the dirt sheets.
Terry Taylor.
Really? What? Terry Taylor?
Yeah.
Or maybe I've heard it before. Yes, I think I've heard that one before. Most in trouble with The Office while you were in WCW?
Most in trouble. Johnny Grunge.
Okay, I don't know why. Why Johnny?
Oh, one time they were in Orlando, and we used to be at the same hotel, and Johnny stole the van one night, the hotel's van. They wrecked it. He got arrested. They were at DUI. He was always, I love Johnny. I loved him. Great human being, but he was a kid. He was a 12-year-old boy till he died.
Most talented wrestler that was never given a chance.
Maybe Alex Wright or Adam Bomb.
Well, we talked about Alex Wright before, Adam Bomb, particularly. I mean, do you know, as Wrath, before Kevin Nash beat him, man, that guy was really getting popular.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next one. Nicest person in the business. Too nice, maybe.
Bobby.
I've heard that one many times before. Stiffest / most reckless.
Rick Steiner could be the stiffest when he wanted to be. The most reckless, I didn't have to work on because I was a heel, was Vader. I mean, the match with Flair and him, brutal.
Was that the retirement match in '93?
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah. Best enhancement talent to work with.
Yes. George South.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think, actually. So I've also written this. Also, the jobber who took the best ass kicking from you, particularly.
downtown Denny Brown.
What did you do to him?
Oh, I did everything to Denny. You could bend him, but you couldn't break him. And he was the junior heavyweight champion of the world a couple of times.
Was he somebody who was like, "Yes, sir, can I have another"?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They have another, sir.
I've also got to ask this as well, is the double foot stomp that you used to do. I remember watching that as a kid and going, man, that really looks like it hurts. And then I think I come to find out later that it looked so good because it really did hurt. Is that true?
Well, if you didn't tighten up, it would hurt. And now what I'm shocked about, they use that, I saw Finn Balor use it off the top rope the other night. Wow. You talk about being on time. You got to be at least. They've advanced it so much now, you know what I mean?
How did you, I mean, I suppose it's depending on the person you were wrestling, but if you wanted to protect the person that you were doing the big foot stomp to, I mean, was it timing of bending your knees at the right time? I mean, how would they take
that
it?
was exactly it. You'd have to bring your knees up, and when you came down, you couldn't come down full extension right before you hit their stomach. You had to be full extension before you hit their stomach.
Okay, let's have a look here. Most memorable thing you saw happen on an aeroplane?
Most memorable thing. Ric Flair. I shouldn't even bring this up, right? Got him all in trouble. Yeah, I've been there, seen it.
We know what you're saying. The worst storyline ever.
Maybe the Ding Dongs, huh?
That's more of a character thing. It's like an arcing storyline.
Storyline. Worst storyline ever. There's been so many. Worst storyline ever. The dynamic dudes, trying them to be baby faces and send them into Philly.
We had that on the last one as well, so if anybody wants to find out that, then go and find that. The loudest spot caller.
Loudest spot caller. Steve Kern could be. Yeah, Steve Kern.
How would that sort of manifest in itself? Would he just be across the ring yelling, or?
Yeah, he'd be across the ring talking to you. Like he's reading the football results. Cincinnati 16, New England 12. Yeah.
Duck the clothesline.
Yeah.
I've got a few more then. The weirdest, most off-the-wall person you ever met in the business. Just completely left field.
The Metal Maniac. I worked a show one time when I was working in Japan. I came and worked a show. This was years ago for Tony Rumble, who ran great shows in the Northeast. And his cousin ran a huge show in Connecticut. They drew about 5,000 people. Well, his cousin paid us by checks that day. It was a day show. And we're all go to the bank. And here comes the Metal Maniac in the bank. No shirt on. He's got his tights on, boots on, and his face completely painted again, and goes up to get his check cashed. They're lucky they didn't shoot him.
Did he get his money?
Yeah, he got his money.
My goodness me. Most memorable backstage fight?
Most memorable backstage fight. Buzz Sawyer and Chick Donovan. Boy, Buzz killed him. Oh, it was brutal. I had to pull Buzz off. I mean, I came up the stairs and it was in Augusta. And they had been having words for a couple of days. And all of a sudden, I get there and I see Buzz suplex him, belly to back suplex, and he on him and he pound him I grabbed them, and I think Tommy Rich grabbed them, Brad Armstrong grabbed them. Chick was worse for wear, that's for sure.
Did the talking dog not come to Chick's aid?
Yeah. Oh, God, the talking dog. God. I saw him at a convention. He still looks fabulous, dressed in his Elvis suits. He looks great.
Yeah, has he still got the Ric Flair hair thing going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.